Actuarial did over here, looking at another exam question. So an investment fund had a market value of got 2.2 mil on the 31st of December 01, 4.2 mil on the 31st of December 04, and then in the meantime it received a cash flow of 1.44 mil on the 31st of December 03. So it wants to know what's the money, well actually it doesn't want to know that, it says the money weighted rate of return and the time weighted rate of return for the period, and going from the 31st of December 01 to the 31st of December 04, they're equal to 2 decimal places. So what is the fund immediately before that cash flow on the 31st of December 03? So right over here, what is this one? So let's just quickly have a look. So we're starting on 31st of December 01, and then we're getting some amount over here on the 31st of December 03, and that's 1.44, and we're starting with 2.2, and then we're ending over here with 4.2, and that's the 31st of December 04. Okay, so it wants to know what is this going to be equal to. So we can start by looking at what the, because we've got enough info over here to work out what the money weighted rate of return is. So let's start by looking at that. We need to find out what this figure is over here, x, just before 1.44. So the money weighted rate of return is, we're saying we got 4.2, and we started with 2.2. That's going up by some interest rate, and how many years has that been? So 01 to 02 to 03 to 04, that's 3 years. And then we got some cash flow of 1.44, and that's getting some interest, 1 plus I of, that's just going for 1 year. Okay, so now we just have to solve for I. Now it's saying to 2 decimal places what it is. In your exam, you can muck around with trying to work that out. I'm just going to do it very quickly over here in Excel, just to have a look. So what we know is that if we're saying, I'm just going to make this bit I, this square over here, so I'm saying that 2.2 multiplied by 1 plus this bit over here to the power of 3, and then we're adding 1.44 times 1 plus that same I over there, that's just to the power of 1, and then that's got to be equal to 4.2. Let's just do that. So when this bit over here is equal to 0.05, we don't get to 4.2, we're just a little bit below it. What happens if it's 0.06? Then we're still getting very close. What if it's 0.6, sorry, wrong one. What if this is 0.065, so 6.5%? We're so close, so I'm just going to go 0.66%. And then we have it. Okay, so that's 4.2. So it looks as though that we're looking at about 6.6% straight out, because that's it's pretty good of a value that we're going to get. So if we just say that over here, I is equal to 6.6% per annum. And to be honest, I don't really like doing that. I hate having to do trial and error, but that's the way we need to do it for the money weighted rate of return. Now that we have this figure, we can start looking at the time weighted rate of return, which is going to be, we have it's going to be 0.066, and that's going to go over 3 years, and that's equal to, so we started with 2.2, and we end up with some value x. And then we multiply that by, we have some value x, we add on 1.44, and then we end up with some value 4.2. Now we just have to work out what x is equal to. So some things we can do pretty quickly is I'll just, we can multiply everything by 2.2, divide by 4.2, and then just start rearranging everything to get x by itself. So may as well start working that one out, equals 1.066 to the power of 3. And I said that was multiplied by 2.2, and then that was, I think I said divided by 4.2. Divided by 4.2, so we have this 0.6345. So looking at that, 0.6345, and then that's going to be equal to x over x plus 1.44 over there. So I can just bring this to the other side, and then we can start rearranging things again. And what's going to be happening is I'm then going to be getting, I'll actually just save a bit of time and say x is equal to 2.5. If you want, I'll just quickly show it. So this is going to be 0.6345x, and we're going to do 1x minus that whole bit over there, going to the other side. So it's going to be 1 minus 0.6345 equals 1 minus that bit there. So we have 0.6354x, and that's going to be equal to this bit here multiplied by 1.44. So equals this times 1.44 and then we're just going to be taking the left-hand side divided by the right-hand side over here. If this is a bit confusing, just let me know. I wasn't really planning on doing some calculations, but then we do get 2.5 over there. So that's the answer, and that's what the value is before we get our 1.44 amount. So there you go. Thanks a lot for watching, and ask if you have any questions.